one of the things it does is help to mediate the inflammatory response, this innate immune response. And so there's a number of recent studies that have come out in the past few months to demonstrate how the ketones produced in ketogenic diets help to moderate the response to exposure to the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which causes COVID-19, by mediating the inflammatory response. In other words, you don't get that cytokine storm. And in fact, there's even evidence to suggest that the ketones prevent the virus from actually finding these ACE2 receptors, these they're called angiotensin converting enzyme 2. That's the receptor that the virus uses to get in the cell. So it downregulates those receptors, so there's fewer receptors on the cells. And then even when it gets in the cells, it downregulates the inflammatory response within the cell. And then it also helps to prevent those cells from popping, something called apoptosis, which is the cells pop when they get full of virus, and then that spreads again.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all very new. They're sort of just in the hypothesis stage, but good evidence to suggest that ketogenic diets may be a very effective prophylactic measure to prevent you from getting COVID-19. But if you do get it, it's very likely to reduce or mitigate the effects of COVID-19, which means you won't end up in the hospital and you won't end up on a respirator, and hopefully, you know, you won't pass away. And I know you've had, terrible experience with that in Spain and throughout Europe. And we're seeing that south of the border in the United States too. So, and then you think about the economic costs of that too. When you look at the whole picture, if we could convince our policymakers to suggest people might want to look at their diets and stop eating all of this high glycemic index food that's aggravating the obesity, aggravating the insulin resistance, aggravating the inflammation, we could go a long way towards mitigating the whole global response to COVID.